led by SFNL, or piloted by him. And of course has the gimmick of the Dutch airstrike, the what I like to call the Dutch oven.
Mm-hmm. It's got two charges. They both charge really quickly. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have a lot of pen, but they throw a lot of bombs with a good fire chance. And the fall time is actually a lot faster. The deploy time is a lot faster. So like 10 seconds versus 15 for the regular Dutch cruisers.
Right.
Has 150 millimeter guns in 3 twin turrets, 6 of them. It's also got torpedoes, 3 per side in 2 launchers. And yeah.
There you go. And look, it's Tedster. That's funny. He's an epoxy now. Okay.
Well, epoxy was QQ, I think. So yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. They changed the tags. So.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, this is very risky being this close early on like this. So many enemy ships. You're located, and Gearing and Nooster both, I think, can outspot you, right? Gearing with... Is Gearing 5.7?
It's 5.89. It's actually the same as the Tromp.
Unless it's legendary.
Unless it's legendary. But Tromp surprisingly has very good concealment. And, oh, there's your Gearing.
Yep. So that's exactly what I was just getting at, right? Like, you just got yourself outspotted. Unfortunately for the enemy team, they weren't really ready for you. But still, you want to kind of skedaddle.
That is a Napoli. And it's I use and Puerto Rico and occur first and Louisiana. This
right?
is gonna be bad. Yeah. It's
Demon Guard, thank you. 5.6 with legendary. I knew it brought it on par, very close to on par with the Shimakaze. Do you build a Tromp for Torps?
No.
I personally wouldn't. I mean, you can. I might go for the if you've got the special Dutch commander, you could always go for airstrike and just spam airstrike. Also, very risky here opening up like this. You're still very, very much in front of, you know, 4 other ships. But he is making good work of penning the Napoli bow. And you can see SF slowing down now. He wants this kill. So he's going to slow down and keep penetrating the bow. Very smart. The bow, of course, has less armor around it. So these AP shells will pen. And he's denied the kill.
Okay, Yacht Diego, it doesn't work like that. Nice try, though. Yacht Diego whispered me, even though he hasn't won yet, in case he wins later. It's like, it doesn't work like that.
So, one thing you're probably noticing right off the bat is that Tromp has a relatively slow rate of fire compared to most other heavy gunboats. Well, it's got an okay rate of fire. It's got like a 5-second reload, but it doesn't have particularly great ballistics, nor does it have the insane rate of fire of something like a Smolensk. What it does have, is that Alpha Strike, and more importantly, it's supplemented by the Dutch bombs, which again have a very fast fall time, which means that you know, you can actually use these against destroyers fairly okay if they don't dodge per se, but you know, so that's how it goes.
It's not a good, in my opinion, it's not a good like 1v1 like destroyer versus destroyer kind of ship. You don't want to get yourself in that situation, especially like a Kleber or something.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's a very good ship at all, personally. I don't know why they tried to shoehorn. It's like this. It's ancient, right? This is like a really old, like 1930s half cruiser that they shoehorned in at tier 10. I don't get it. It's not great. You know, it's like there's better options. Like Ragnar still exists. It's a fun meme boat, but it's not. Again, not great.
Well, you know, for the person who has everything, you know, it's another ship to grab.
I suppose, yeah. That's fair enough, though. Like,
and especially in randoms, I've seen a lot of static play in random battles, and this destroyer, just like the other you know, Dutch cruisers. I mean, they punish static play, so...
Which is nice. I hate static play, and I kind of wish people would move around a little bit more. But at the same time, if you want to punish static play, like, personally speaking, I would just grab Kleber and just run around like a headless chicken. Have some fun.
You can definitely do that too. Absolutely, yes.
Real quick, guys, the next giveaway is up.
Okay.
I'm going to be right back, but yeah, I just wanted you to know there's 2 CC containers up for grab.
Perfect. Thank you, Kitty.
For Sone's super sexy raid.
Super sexy raid. Let's go. I'm gonna drop myself down just a little bit more so there's a little bit more room to see things in the game. Maybe I should do that on the other side too with my stream elements overlay. Yeah, I think that's better. I feel like the view's a little bit cramped and I want you guys to be able to see everything you can, so.
So, Tromp also has one fairly particular weakness. It's designed as a cruiser, which means it actually has internal armor. Now, that doesn't sound too bad, but you have to consider the fact that it's pretty much like 38 to 50 millimeters, which means you can arm relatively sluggish AP like Des Moines AP, for example. There is a Des Moines on the enemy team that's still alive. So, if you under-angle to that, you will end up eating full pens pretty consistently because of, you know, how much armor you have. It's also really big. This is really, really, really big for a tier 10 destroyer. I think it's like roughly the same size as some tier 5, tier 6 cruisers, or tier 5 cruisers mostly, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tom, I'm not 100% sure about the song request. It's been a while since I've streamed and done this, so I apologize for not knowing exactly. But, yeah. Just something kind of fun that we've been doing. Just spam until it works. There you go. What are we listening to right now? Ah, Desta. Oh, you got it. Okay. So, right now, not too much to comment on. I mean, I think he's doing a nice job of realizing he's not going to be able to hold this flank. So, you just luck chuck torpedoes and keep withdrawing. Makes sense. And you can keep dumping Dutch airstrikes on them, too. Are you going to shoot? Why are you shooting?
Don't shoot. No. Give yourself away.
Why?
Yes.
Well, the interesting...
Maybe that's the point.
I also just want to point out the fact that SF has more bomb hits than shell hits at this point.
He's got 138 bomb hits, yeah. And only 83 shell hits. Nice torpedo. Just watch out for the Dutch oven drops. That's right, trolls. Moobot should see that you're trying to request a great song and forget about the formalities. Ah, that's why they're not shooting at him, because that Plymouth was so low. So SF probably thought he could get away with, you know, some cheeky shots, figuring no one's really going to care about him. They want to get that kill. And if they do shoot at him, then that might give the, whatever that was, the Plymouth, an extra chance to... Wait, does it have a heal?
Yeah, it has a heal.
Yeah, so a chance to heal up.
One, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Unfortunately, on the regular heal, not the British printer ship.
And now that I say that, look, he's shooting again. He's like screaming at the enemy to pay attention to him, to witness him, notice him.
Notice me. Well, to be fair, if the GK notices him, he's going to eat a torpedo, which he unfortunately does not.
He did.
Oh, he did? Okay. Oh,
Yep.
there we go. Oh, it's a Soyuz, not a GK.
Turbo Tush. Wow. Okay. Well, hey. Good luck in the rest of your video gaming endeavors. If you ever want to come back to Warships, I'm sure it's going to be around. Epic Candy Corn Saint. Neat. All right, more Dutch oven bombs. The interesting thing too is you can actually use the torpedoes as a indicator of how fast somebody's moving, so you can line up your salvos better with the Dutch oven. I like that. And here's where the ship is truly a threat. When you can sit back and you can just keep dropping these bombs on your enemies. And if they're lining up like that, that's so nice, because if you miss, the Soyuz gets hit.
And the fast bomb drop time also means that you don't have to take as much lead as, say, a goop, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Tromp having 5.9 kilometer concealment is really... It's actually not that bad. I think it's actually pretty good for... it's like...
Uh-oh.
For once.
A wild gearing appears.
I was wondering where he was.
Well, the torpedoes made me think he was in front of the battleships, because he almost backed into a torpedo salvo. The other thing that's interesting is I haven't seen SF really pay too much attention to where his bombs are landing, which you can get away with if you've played the ship a lot and have a lot of experience in it. But if you're not quite sure, it might be a good idea to just try to watch those bombs and see where they're hitting. Like, for example, the last salvo, you didn't watch at all. You're so busy trying to get those luck chuck torps out, so you don't know if your aim was off or if he moved or what. And I think that's important to be able to correct that aim, so you get as many bombs to hit. I mean, you've got 190 already, so... 11 hits, non-pens. Yeah, well, that can happen.
Bombs don't have a lot of pen. It's only 21 millimeters. That's enough to pen destroyers, but not pen structures.
Right. Now, this is very risky, just opening up in range of Kerfer secondaries like this. I mean, that being said, you can see the team that isn't doing too well, despite how much you've been trying to hold this flank. Oh well. Only so much SF can do.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping for a death pick. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, got a torpedo. Oh, did he hit the gear? Or did he hit the...
Kerr first. He hit the Kerr first.
Oh, he did go over. Okay.
Yep, he just got a witherer.
We did a little bit of farming.
I think my favorite witherer was in an Arkansas beta. Just let that sink in for a second.
How do you get a wither? Oh, did he just shoot HE all game?
Yes.
Of course.
It was a secondary spec HE Arkansas beta. So I just went around and set all the fires.
Keck. That is a definite keck.
All right, well, this game's a loss. Now, is it SF's fault? I don't think so. I can't think of really what else SF could have done to be more decisive with this ship, and maybe that also highlights some of the shortcomings of the Tromp. It's not a ship that's going to engage an enemy and decisively win a flank, like maybe a Shimakaze with its torpedo salvos, or maybe even a gearing, or like the Black there with the ability to use radar and smoke combo.
Tromp is very much a farming
Yes.
And I just witnessed a Louisiana get torpedoed by a Black. Very interesting. Oh no, they're right next to each other.
Well, I mean, it's let's face it. The Black has long range torpedoes, and they don't really show up that early, so it's very quick. You have very little reaction time. So I'm not surprised to see a Black luck checking torps and getting a torp kill out that. So
Somehow death striking a gearing.
Light cruiser playstyle with planes. That's right, Kays. That's exactly right. He had the ideal setup actually for a while, right, with the enemy team pushing into him. But you could see he just wasn't able to seal the deal. We have seen him do some decent anti-air work against these aircraft, which does highlight another factor of these the Tromp, which is pretty strong anti-air.
Well, as far as mid-range AA goes, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember a long time ago? Oh.
No kill. I don't think we get a.
Whoops.
Treasure.
No, I didn't, because the game ended. Nope, I didn't get it.
Unlucky.
Oh well. That's all right. Let's take a look at that render. Let's see, Tromp. There it is. Let's open her
3
up.
minutes left in Stream Raiders, guys. Help him out.
Yep, 3 minutes left, Stream Raiders. Come on in. Gary, what's up? Salute. Yak Diego, yes, the Louisiana is currently in testing, which means we cannot comment on the ship's characteristics, and
Is that the tier
I don't know
9
if,
or tier 10?
I have
That is
no
tier
idea.
10. That would be tier 10. I cannot talk about it either because I recently got a CST. In the meantime,
Congratulations.
Discuss.
Well, no, I was asking just the tier, not, or is that NDA?
No, it's tier 10. It's kind of, yeah, it's a tier 10 ship.
Yeah, it's been released. I just don't remember. Is it legal to feature it? No, it's not legal to feature it. And I didn't feature it. I basically showed the Tromp. And, I mean, I guess you saw some interactions there with the planes, but whatever. And remember, guys, it's a ship that's in testing. So any and all of the ship's characteristics can and probably will change before the ship gets released anyways. So
I think SF played this as best as he could, as far as, you know, within the limitations of what the Tromp can do. It's, again, a farming ship. It's not a ship that can make plays like Ragnar or Smolensk.
Right.
I guess, I mean, if there's one thing I can comment on, it's losing, you know, losing 10,000 health right off the bat is not optimal.
He played it way too aggressive early.
Yeah, no, that's my problem. Like, you lost too much health early, and you ended up losing, you know, again, Tromp doesn't have a heal. That's one thing to consider. It has no heal. So you have to play a little more conservatively than you would say, like, a Ragnar, where you can kind of open water and get away with it because you do have a heal to work with.
Right.
But not this.
Right. And so you saw the result of that early interaction. It forced SF to really be a lot more cautious. Even then, he wasn't as cautious as I would have expected him to be. But, you know, by the time he had the opportunity to go 1v1 against the Gearing, he couldn't do it, right? Like, the confidence to make that engagement was gone. And I think if he didn't get into that situation early on where the Gearing spotted him and he lost the chunk, like you mentioned, I think he would have been a lot more willing to take those risks, like in this stage of the game. Shout out for Grunty. There it is. Thank you, Kitten. Did we ever shout out Sohn?
I think we did.
I don't know. Kitten, shout Sohn out just in case. And guys, if you don't follow Sohn, if you're doing something wrong, go click on that link and follow him. All right? Like, he's a good guy. And he rated me earlier, and big thanks to Sohn for that. Yeah, I guess I was trying to do too many things at once, and I couldn't keep it all straight, so. There's Sohn with that sexy bald head of his. He is a good dude. That's right. Okay. Let's move that to the done pile. I don't know there's really that much else to talk about with that, so let's move to